And right now, taking action on school safety after the MSD massacre.
Some of the victims' parents bringing their fight to the nation's capital today, announcing new legislation to keep students safe. Janice is here with much more.
And Nicole and Calvin, this comes as we learn members of Congress will tour the Parkland school shooting site next week before the 1200 building is finally torn down. With pictures of 3 victims of the MSD massacre, Alyssa Al-Hadef, Gina Montalto, and Alex Schachter, a bipartisan group of representatives announcing 2 pieces of school safety legislation.
Every single thing we do can save a life and can have one more kid come home from school or a movie theater or a grocery store or just their regular neighborhood. The SOS Act will invest in more trained school resource officers, and the Alyssa Act will require silent panic alarms in all schools so that law enforcement can be notified immediately in the event of an active shooter.
On February 14th, I texted my daughter Alyssa. I told her to run and hide, that help was on the way. And unfortunately, that help didn't get to Alyssa fast enough.
And while they garner support for this legislation, U.S. Representative Jared Moskowitz, along with U.S. Representative Mario Diaz-Balart, inviting all members of Congress to join in on a visit of the 1200 building at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Moskowitz is an alumnus of MSD and says all of Congress should witness the aftermath of this horrific shooting.
And hopefully, for the members who can't make it, we can continue to do it. I think it's important. I still remember that day.
Parents from whom grief has no measure have walked the path of the Parkland shooter, bearing witness to brutal acts of murder suspended in time. The Parkland shooter shot 34 students and staff, 17 of them died. Max Schachter, who lost his 14-year-old son Alex in the February 14th shooting, encouraging all members of Congress to walk through the building to fully understand what took place that day.
But there is nothing like walking through that actual building. It makes you understand what Alex and Alyssa and Gina went through and how scared they were. The failures of that day, it makes you angry.
And that tour will be taking place next Friday, August 4th. After that, members of Congress will have the opportunity to meet with survivors and parents to discuss school safety.